before we get into this, like I tried to do some research and like no one posted fucking anything about team trios whatsoever apart from your winning deck. So like I have no information about anything.
I have a list of the team names that we played each round.
Well, that would be helpful if there were any deck photos posted or anyone did a tournament report.
Did this
like,
event actually happen? Like, did it really even happen?
No, we just claimed victory.
I mean, that's what we thought, basically. But we'll have you guys on anyway, just to chit chat. Welcome back, everybody. We are now on episode 13, and we have 3 guests again for this episode. We're lucky to have 3 guests, recent champions. As always, my name is Andy Beccaro. I'm joined by Jared Susney, my co-host, who's back.
I'm fairly convinced that you're never going to get better at intros.
Never. Maybe by episode 200 or something. But anyway, after a brief hiatus, Jared is back at the co-host seat, and we are joined by the recent Lobstercon Team Trios champions.
Let's go.
Rich Arevalo, Chris Mason, and Lucas Glavin. Welcome, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Glad to be here.
Lucas, let me start by saying you pissed off a lot of Sisters of the Flame by ruining their fantasy draft for top 16 in the main event. I think.
Yeah, well, they should have been on Rich.
Ditto.
I might be partially to blame for that one. But in my defense, I also had Lucas in my top 16.
You really screwed a lot of people over there.
Well, nobody's more disappointed than I am. But that's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure it was the furthest thing from your mind while you were playing.
I did wonder like how many like pack one, pick one you were.
Well, I was told Rich Shea had the top selections.
Did he?
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
which makes sense. He won 2 Lobstercons in a row.
Right, but that's for top 16 though. Yeah, so sure. when I think of like who comes first to mind, I feel like you were the one.
Well,
but anyway, you blew it. So who cares?
I sucked.
Anyway, go ahead.
But you made up for it for you guys' performance the next day, and so I guess we can start by last time when we did a team trios, we kind of went through the how everybody got together, and I know you guys have known each other for a long time. All 3 of you, if the listeners don't know, all 3 of you guys are from the Northeast, and so are we, and we kind of know each other's faces. So you want to give us just a little bit more details on how you guys came up with the team and how kind of the team dynamic started, I guess. Anybody?
Well, I think I was the last person to join the team. So I think
that makes sense.
Lucas or Chris might want to take the reins.
Chris definitely originated the team. So
we Lucas and I talked a little bit about trying to get something together for the Team Trios event. I think Luke.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll be back. I can fill in some of the blanks.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it was at the Hartford Hydro Tilt this past. I think it was in March that we were there.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I had already Lobstercon registration had happened. I had signed up for X Point already. I was planning on doing that, defending my crown.
Right.
But true. We sat down and it was like one round. It was me, Mace, and Partial was next to us. And like I was like, oh yeah, this is like a pretty good looking side of the table. And then and then Mace said, "Hey, you guys want a team?" But Partial obviously went to team with Ty. So I was like,
that's true.
"Yeah, well, I'll team with you." And then we were searching for our third.
There you go. Sorry, guys.
All good. I'm glad you're back.
You were at Rich. You were at that event as well, or?
No, I couldn't get off work. I definitely wanted to go to Hydro Tilt because I went, I think 2 years ago. And I mean, just the venue itself was great. There's so many restaurants. It was a big open space. I definitely would have gone, but I just couldn't get the time off.
Mm-hmm.
Your PTO must suck, Rich, because the amount of things that you can't make on a weekend is like absolutely absurd. You just anyway, moving on.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know me. I'll try to join every single tournament possible, but
you will.
There's only so many weekends I can take off before I lose my job. So
right. So that was kind of Mace. You kind of your connection kind of broke up there, but
the cell reception in Tanos' coffin is not very good, apparently.
Right. But it sounds like all of you kind of first started to make a team at the Hartford Hydra event.
So Lucas was just telling a story about you guys sitting with Partial at an event, and then I guess you decided that Partial is too much of a psychopath to have on your team, so you a nerd.
No, I think we just got to him too late. He got swooped up. He got swooped up by Ty and Simon pretty quickly, I think. So, but yeah, he actually weirdly enough ended up playing the exact same 75 that I did. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I guess we can get into. I guess we can get into it.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you something. The funny thing about Mace is I've known him since the early 2000s. I think.
Yep.
Oh wow!
But
okay.
With about a 18-year hiatus in between.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Old like Boston Northeast PTQ GP circuit days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys knew each other from back in the day.
And, so just so Ricardo doesn't seem like a total rando, like Rich, you play a lot of the Neos online events and everything. So you've probably played these guys, or at least like.
Well, yeah, definitely. Lucas is actually one of the first people that I actually played old school with. And we actually
that must have been demoralizing for you.
I do remember the very first time I met him.
Man, this game is hard.
He was playing Twiddle Vault, so I didn't get to play much Magic.
Oh, Lucas.
Should we really count that? I mean,
I was just like, I have no idea what you're doing, but this is cool. Keep going. I mean, I had no idea, what the time vault. I didn't know these cards. Like, I just knew like Drudge Skeletons and Carrying It. It's been a while since I played.
Just let me know when it's my turn.
The two of you, I remember. This is coming back to me. Is that I think you guys met up at, was it Flushing Meadow Park?
Yeah. This summer.
Yeah.
Yes, for the Cyclops Smash Best in Person event.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. I mean, I give Lucas all the credit. That was his idea. We basically, we set up a table right in front of. I think it's called the Unisphere, the giant globe, and we play some Alpha to Alliances, and somehow you managed to take like a perfect picture where we're on both sides of the globe and we're battling, facing each other. It was just a great picture.
Yeah, there was a prize or something for like best in-person meetup.
Yeah. I did it last summer. I did a Sisterton, one of these side WebQuest webcam event things, and offered the same kind of prize. And there was Xanadu and James Lebec won at the Lexington Bridge in in Massachusetts, the Battle of Lexington and Concord.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I definitely remember that was a great shot. It was very picturesque on Flushing Meadow. I grew up in Queens, so I was like, I can't believe they met up.
That's the kind of enrichment that we like to see at these events. Like apart from just the results, like getting a good memory or something like that. So that's very admirable. It's a cool thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now I'll say in terms of I do remember when I first got back into old school. I guess it was late 2020, early 2021. I do remember, Chris, that you and I played maybe one or two times on the webcam.
Yep.
And I don't think I'd played you that much after that, but then I do remember the very next Lobstercon, you came up to me like, Rich, how's it going? I'm like, how do you even remember me? You only played me one time, but you were just so excited to say, hey, what's up? And I was like, damn, that's really cool, because that's really the first time I was really meeting somebody in person who I had played online and never met before. All I saw was
no shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I did play a lot of Neos Monthlies, Derbies, but just have not jumped back into the webcam game probably in a few years now. So it's all IRL for me.
Webcam kind of sucks, to be fair. Like, it's fine, but it doesn't really hold a candle, you know. So if you have an itch to scratch, it's fine. But like, if you're like Rich and you never leave your fucking house, then you might as well play on your webcam as much as possible.
For the record, you and I were both playing until 2 a.m. last night.
I was gonna say
it's true.
We're also lucky enough to live in an area that has pretty regular meetups too, like bi-weekly meetups. So you know, there's no shortage of opportunities to get some Magic in.
Well, Rich only lives in the biggest major metropolitan city in the United States, but he's still just constantly sticking his face in a camera like this.
Trying to get better.
So anyway, so you guys, you scoop Rich, I guess ostensibly with the thought that he's going to play 7 points. So like after you decided to recruit this Toad, did you guys already have in mind like who was going to play like what decks, or like how did that flesh out?
I think we had thought about the formats a lot, but I don't know. We hadn't really locked into like specific decks.
No, that's what I meant. Like who would play like which format, and then like you know, since you didn't get partial, who like would be completely worthless at 7 point, obviously. Like you'd already kind of thought about that before getting someone, or you punted on Rich and then stuck him with 7 point.
Well, I'm pretty sure the assumption was that when Lucas asked me to join, that I was going to play 7 points, because I was all in on playing the X Point tournament. Like I had a deck that I was really happy to play, and I do remember he reached out to me. He's like, "You're playing on our team.
Yeah, come on.
You have no option.
Let's do this."
Yeah. In hindsight, Rich, you really made the right decision here, because you know.
Well, if Lucas calls, how could I say no, right?
It's such a good format. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're really into X Point, I guess you play it, but I don't know. I try to pick the team events whenever possible. So
it worked out perfectly because Rich ended up top 16ing the main event and would have been unable to play in the X Point tournament. So it was kismet.
That's also true. But
don't ask me how that happened, please. Yeah. Don't ask me.
Wait, did you guys? I was my team was way on the other side of the losers bracket, so I'm not familiar who played what. Which format did each of you guys play?
So I played Atlantic.
Okay.
Rich was on 7 point, and Lucas was A-to-A.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a memory, sorry to interrupt, that we almost made a last minute change because Lucas had been doing really well with his 7 point deck in the Neos monthly, and he kind of got the itch.
Oh, okay.
Remember
I did.
Yeah, I was like, but there is no way I'm playing Alpha Alliances because I don't know any of the cards. And
it's a format that's not as popular up down here. It is down here in the South. A lot of the Nashville guys play that all the time, and that bootleggers and meetups and everything. But up in the Northeast, I feel like it's not as popular.
Yeah, that was my big question for you, Lucas. Like how much exposure do you have to that? Because like it is like big with like Music City, and like, you know, obviously like I don't know if you play like the anti format at all, but that's vastly different than playing.
Yeah, that's a totally different animal.
Alliances. Yeah, it's completely different. So like, what kind of drew you to that, or like have you played it much, or was it a thing that you were like fresh brewing for, or what?
Yeah, so the Neos monthlies over the years, I mean, I've played every one of them basically since 2020 or so.
We've all noticed, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I might have missed one.
Do you have at this point?
6, maybe. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Well, how many do I actually own is a different question than how many I've won. But yeah. So, anyways, through the Neos monthlies, we've played a lot of alliances-based formats or original 6 with the 6 expansions up through Ice Age, and so I had played with a lot of those cards before, but the specific like 4 Strip Mine, 4 Force of Will, 4 Necro version, we hadn't. So that was kind of the impetus for why I ran the Cyclops Smash over the summer as a webcam event, and just say, hey, you know, people who are doing teams want to think about this format a little bit, give it a try. So I was commissioning it and, you know, giving some prize cards out, and you know, I
love how you did that just to get data. That's
like, awesome. Hey guys, I bought everybody cards. Does anybody? I need people to play with me. Let's just get some data here.
Xanadu has a philosophy which is a good one. Like any format you want, just like throw a thing out there and be like, hey, anybody want to play this? And whatever, even if you just get like 6 people who want to play it, just cool, you know.
No, it definitely works out. Yeah.
So how did that top 8 shake out, Lucas, of the last Neos monthly you ran for A to A?
Oh well, we didn't run the straight up one, but I can tell you a little bit about the body of work through those. Was like a lot of counter burn, obviously, and I know. Let's see, Jeff Grasso beat me in the finals of one. Rich Shea beat me in the semifinals of one, and then I think maybe lost to another counter burn attack in the finals. Noah's done really well with it, so that was always there in those formats. It's a different
Noah Shanning.
Yeah, why?
Oh,
we love him.
I'm busted balls. I love Noah.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say,
Nice.
There's a bad word to say about him. Yeah, geez.
It's how Jared shows his love.
Him and McGran came to my house like literally like the day they were leaving for Arvika, like just the jam game. So
Sure.
he's one of my favorite people. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout him out and bust his balls because I don't think we have on the pod yet. So
Yeah.
anyway, continue.
Great guy. So anyway, yeah, that had all come through in Neos, and then it was like, okay, what's going to happen with this? Running it, the crazy. I mean, A to A is like old school on steroids. Like you get all the old school shit, and then also the 4 strips version, and 4X of all these crazy alliances and Ice Age cards. So that's you got to make decisions about how many Force of Wills and is how good is Necro, and that's there are a lot of things that had to get worked out. Yeah.
So I think yours like of all like of the other two formats is so wide open, right? Because Andy went to Bootleggers Ball, and like I did a lot of research on the Music City website and kind of looked at like the last like several like Bootleggers Balls, and it's kind of crazy how like the meta for that specific format changes so much, right? Like they had like big time combo in like the last year's event, and then like this one was like super aggros, and the decks changes the decks change a lot.
Yeah, I think if you go back a couple of years for Bootleggers, it also is a lot of aggro, creature aggro. Like the Mox Monkey is really big, and then like he said, like there was just so much combo everywhere, and
there's the capacity that for those formats. So like to like try to like, and I know you're very much an optimizer, and like if you're gonna play this format, you probably want to play the bet, at least what you feel is the best deck, right? So and like I mean we'll get into this, so maybe I'm jumping ahead. I don't really know, but like how did you kind of arrive at the counter burn? Was that based on like what you found like through the Neos or like play testing or what?
I think going into it, it's in theory the best choice you could do because of how dominant Mox Monkey is in the format. So you want to play with Mox Monkey, and being a 2 or 2.5 color deck, you minimize how much you rely on Moxes and stuff like that. I think we figured out through the Neoses, even with 1 strip, with 4 Mox Monkey, like the control decks were just not effective because it was so bad for the mana base. So yeah, actually during the Cyclops, Rich and I played combo decks because we wanted to see if that was worthwhile. The Bootleggers,
right?
Yeah, the last one, Eureka had won.
I was shouldering the responsibility of playing Eureka, and that deck is incredible. But the problem is,
deck's sick, yeah.
And it didn't. I pretty much botched every match. And
what Rich, you kind of tuned out there for a second. You said the problem was what with that deck?
That I was the pilot.
Oh,
sorry. Well, that's the problem with every deck that you run. Apparently, apart from this one, Rich. So.
Yeah. I played a Powerball deck that I had gotten from Quinn Marman, which it seemed pretty sweet. Like it's the Power Monolith combo, but you get 4 Force of Wills, so you can get free backup for it.
Yeah.
So I tried that, and it was pretty good. I think I ended up like 3-3 or 4-2. I can't remember, but yeah, again, I had lost to some Mox Monkeys. Had been. They get that out, and you have to like slow roll your Mox pieces to go off in 1 turn. But it's it was just very disruptive. And in the event overall, it was again a ton of blue red made the top 8. Ty got in with his Reanimator deck, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
And there was Xanadu lost in the finals with Necro, and he lost to a blue red with white, a little bit of white. But same basic idea with Mox Monkeys and Burn.
Yeah,
that was Victor Osterberg, who's also been crushing the X Point this year with Lion Dib, especially.
Well, as we learned from Mobstercon, Gorilla Shaman is really good because Don Perrion played it by accident instead of Primitive Justice in Scryings, and he completely blew out Flint Espel's
That's amazing.
Flint is like, wow, this card is really good. We should probably brew with this.
How do we miss
how
this?
powerful that card could be.
This new tech is so good. But yeah, so I guess that's Alpha to Alliance. Is the Rich? You want to talk to us about 7 Point or?
Well, for all of last year, I was playing pretty much mono black the whole way, and it was definitely a deck that was inspired off of Matt Mesa's mono black, just with a couple of changes. But it was that deck just is super strong in 7 Point. So I was going to probably just continue to do that. But I went to the Madrid 7 Points World Champs in the summer, and it wasn't happening. I did not do well at all, actually. I had a great time.
Dude, to just
those guys are awesome.
Those you don't know, La Liga Madrileña, like those guys do 7 Point like fucking crazy. So it's awesome that Rich went there, but like they go deep.
Yes, they're outstanding players, and they're all sharks. Like they all know what they're doing, and I definitely felt like I was like in the slaughterhouse. Like I mean, I think I might have gotten 2 wins out of however many matches, but it was a great time. But I was like, wow, mono black doesn't seem to be it. Much as I loved playing it.
Mono black, like Rich and I actually played each other in Guildhouse in 7 Point like not long ago. And we were both playing mono black. I think the problem with that deck is it doesn't have enough good removal pieces, and it doesn't have enough good like flyers, honestly. And like the addition of burn is obviously also good, but the black deck can get kind of dirtily.
Yeah, and let me tell you with regards to the need of removal. So definitely in the months leading up to Madrid. I mean, I was playing in the monthlies, and I was also playing with Andy too. I mean, he had 7 Point deck at the time, and I was dying to Whirling Dervish every single game. Like I think it might have been like 6 or 7 games in a row. There's a turn 2 Dervish, and I just die. Like
Alapile, Rich. You got a DT for Alapile.
Yeah. And of course, I was like, all right, it's going to feel really bad if I fly all the way to Spain and I'm going to face turn 2 Dervish. And that's exactly what happened. The very round 1, I faced a turn 2 Dervish. Thankfully, I had a Nev's disc in my hand, so I eventually was able to blow it out. But it's a little bit it needs the removal. That's definitely missing. So that's
so what prompted your change to black red? And we'll go over the deck lists after we talk to.
I think there were some recent tournament or something results that black red did well.
Yeah, actually, and we already mentioned him, Victor Osterberg. He won the Madrid Worlds, and he was playing black red.
Yeah.
And I looked at his deck. I'm like, man, this is a cool deck. And I liked that it had obviously removal. It had detonate. It had org, which I thought was an interesting choice. I've never actually played with an org. I was like, I definitely want to build a version of this with the new point system.
Org's kind of.
I mean, I guess with all that removal, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, well, 6/6 Trampler. I mean, that's freaking insane. But
it's really good against. It's really good against Bob from accounting.
Interesting. Yeah. Excellent point.
Yeah. So I was definitely basically inspired to play black red based on his victory. And since the point system changed and red got hit pretty hard, especially like Earthquake and Falling Star, got moved up to 2 points each. I was like, all right, this is a bit of a challenge to try to make a really strong black red mid-range deck.
Also, like the cards in 7 Point, it's funny when people like look at the 7 Point like points breakdown and they're like, what the fuck are these cards doing there? But you don't realize like in a singleton format,
you have to play the format to realize like, yes,
these cards are busted, right? So like auto includes a red or like pyrotechnics, immolation, you know, like cards that you may not otherwise use, but like they're insane in 7 Point.
Yeah. And even a card like Guardian Beast, which was recently pointed, which I think rightfully so, it's still incredible and worth the 1 point. But you don't really know until you start playing.
The only pointed creature.
No, Trike has a point.
Oh, Trike does have a point. Oh no, Tetravis does too, doesn't it?
No,
it doesn't. No, Tetravis is slow.
There aren't that many creatures on the points list. Old Man of the Sea was recently pointed.
Oh, yeah. Old Man, that's for. I forgot they added that on.
That was a staple in every blue-red deck. It was really
yeah. It's a weird thing with 7 Point, right? Because like there's obviously auto includes like for every deck, right? You think of like Tanos's Coffin, like cards like that, but like you want to balance the format. So there's cards you want to see in every deck, and like people bitch about like, oh, like Drain Life's a point. It's like, yeah, dude, Drain Life is a beating.
Basically a fireball where you gain life at the same time. I mean,
yeah, it's fully busted. So
how often do the point system gets
it's every year after
it's once a year.
Yep. Certain years there's more changes than others, but certainly this past year there were a ton of changes. Definitely for the better, in my opinion. But,
yeah, I think 7 point is really starting to get popular, and people are really picking it up and really enjoying it because everybody I talk to loves the format.
It's fun. You get to play cards you would normally play, and you get. Yeah. I think the best part about singleton formats is like you do get in a lot of different like interactions with like layers of cards that you don't usually use, and I feel like it makes you a better player because you wind up in these cases where like you like have to learn rules essentially, like how does this work with this stacked on top of this, and it creates a lot of interesting situations. I think it would make you better at the game. So like while it might not be the most compelling thing, I think it's a lot of fun. You use cards you would normally use, and you learn a lot. You learn about a lot more about the game than you would just playing, I think, like Atlantic or Swedish, because you see cards that have weird rules or whatever, and like you have to interact in different ways.
Yeah, I definitely think 7 points, it just, in my view, is the closest to like a game of chess in old school, because there's a definitive early game, mid game, late game. There's no.
You have to be very careful about like how you use a removal, like
the
what
sequencing is so important. Yeah, so that's what I really enjoy about it.
That's
and
cool.
somehow you're a functioning idiot and you still won. And I'm tired of listening to you talk, Rich. So Mace, you were the Atlantic leg, so you decided to do
this welcoming podcast. It's great.
A tribute to Jens. Was that something that like you kind of thought about like previously, or?
No. So when we were talking about Atlantic, I had some previous experience playing, in the 4-shop robot space. We had originally, or I guess we had talked about Lucas maybe playing Atlantic, but wasn't sure that he wanted to play the deck after playing the deck in the main event, which I think is partially why he switched to A to A. Yeah. So I knew pretty soon that after we decided that I wanted to play robots. And we were looking around at some lists, and I think Lucas had the idea to take a look at Jens Jaeger's list from last year. For those of you who don't know, Jens is an old school player, really popular, super nice dude, great old school player, top 8 at Lobstercon last year, and unfortunately passed away earlier this year. And there was a very nice tribute to him at this year's old school Lobstercon. And so we ended up deciding, just sort of as an additional kind of tribute, to run back his exact 75. And thanks to Rich and also to you, Andy, for helping our team being able to put that deck together. It was great. We submitted his deck pick as our deck pick, our team deck pick. We used his pick from last year's Lobstercon. And it was I'll use Lucas's word from previously. It was sort of kismet that we chose to do that, because it was great all day.
That's actually awesome, because like I never met Jens, and like again, like I watched his streams and everything, and like kind of like followed him like from afar. Even like I don't play pre-modern, but he was also like a pre-modern like beater, and by all accounts like was so widely loved by everybody. So it was really cool to see you and like a couple other people like just as a tribute like kind of play his list, and then like have it win the event kind of like in his honor. It's really cool. Really awesome.
It was great. It was
in dramatic fashion too. I mean, we get that
for sure. Yeah.
How did you guys do? I guess we can get into the breakdown of how each of you did throughout the day. Like, did you?
Yeah. So like in terms of like individual,
like did you?
So if we were to pick, like, you obviously have to win teams like
two out of three
matches to get the points, right? So like on the like, did you guys like have an imbalance in who was winning? Because obviously like Rich sucks, so like he probably lost a lot of his matches. You guys carried it on your back.
Well, so we went 14-1 on the day, so it was 5 rounds of Swiss.
Wow.
We went 14-1 on the day.
Holy hell.
Lucas and I were both 5-0.
Wow.
Oh, so you guys dominated. Yeah.
And Rich lost, of course. Yeah.
And Rich.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that was all part of the dramaticness of
correct. Right.
winning Jen's deck.
That was just like you
joking aside. 4-1 in a very, very open format, like 7
it's still
which
real,
is like
it's awesome.
it's like it's higher variance than either of the other two, I think. So that's really excellent, Rich. I love stomping your balls into oblivion, but like I think it's very valiant record.
Fuels me, Jared.
And were you guys did you guys see about the opponents that you guys played against? Was it what you expected at the tables? I guess we can start with you, Lucas. Like, did you see a lot of counterburn? Was it reflective of that recent kind of playtest tournament that you ran? Or
I think a lot of necro.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like the actual tournament itself, because probably for a lot of people who played in the team event, that was maybe their first foray into A.
Correct.
So just like you saw a lot of diversity over the summer. I played against a lot of diverse decks. I played like against combo decks, the Storm Cauldron one, which gave me a pretty good. Yes! For my money. Yeah. It was nerve wracking.
That was round one, right?
This is scary, that deck. Yeah.
It was scary as hell. Like he had the fast. I had an orb in play once, like an active orb, and he had fast bond, and then it's like he's casting a Storm Cauldron. I'm like, what? What am I supposed to?
Hold on.
Do I do the fast bond? If I wait to do the Cauldron, is that gonna? So like it took a lot of processing to figure out what to do there, and it was a close match. He got his combo off one game, and that was impressive.
Lucas, I obviously had full confidence in your ability to crush, but I was a little nervous in round one when I saw that you actually reach over and pick up a card and read it. I'm like, oh shit, this might not be good.
Yeah, well, that whole deck is doing like glacial.
Well, you know what? Since we started talking to Lucas, Andy, I'll do that thing, because not everybody gets to watch this video. So I'll do Lucas's deck real quick, and then we'll talk to Mace and Rich, and then I'll just read out the deck list real quick because.
Do you have them on? Did you?
Annoying.
Okay.
Yeah. I posted them in the chat. So Lucas's Alpha 2 Alliances deck was 4 Gorilla Shaman, 4 Serendip Efri, 4 Lightning Bolt, 4 Incinerate, 4 Psionic Blast. 3 Psionic Blast, 1 Wheel of Fortune, 2 Counterspell, 2 Force of Will, 1 Merchant Scroll, love to see it, 1 Latnam's Legacy, interesting selection, 1 Demonic Tutor, 1 Mind Twist, 1 Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, Time Twister, Brain Geyser, Mana Drain, Library of Alexandria. Jesus Christ, Lucas, you pick a lot of bad cards. 4 Volcanic Island, 3 Badlands, 5 Basic Island, 2 City of Brass, 4 Mishra's Factory, 2 Strip Mines, because this is 4 Strip, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mox Sapphire, Mox Ruby, Mox Jet. He issued the off-color Mox in. Black Lotus, 1 Soul Ring, 1 Chaos Orb, and the sideboard of 2 Blood Moon, 2 Shatter, 1 Pyrokinesis, 1 Anarchy, 2 Pyroblast, 1 Hydroblast, 3 Black Vice, 2 Tormod's Crypt, and 1 Zurin Orb.
Now, I got to ask, Lucas, did you scan all your cards? And
yeah.
How long did that take
have you looked at Lucas's fucking deck photos?
I have
all the time.
And I kind of I assumed that you did, but it's more of like, man, that's a lot of work. It seems like a lot of work.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, so you do like 9 at a time or something, and then just
you can do.
I guess if you're using the same cards,
8 at a time. Yeah. Well, the other thing is usually this was like a quicker one I put together, but usually I would have like all the cards. I did like on this one numbers over them to just make it easier to read.
Yeah, you do like crazy arts and shit on the side.
What is this that I'm looking at here with the Alliance? Is that
Oh yeah. Well, that's just a Chameleons UK album cover that I liked.
Oh, okay.
Felt was appropriate.
I also think it's worth noting that the counter spells, Incinerates, and basic lands are all the Circle M promos. which is a sign of a man with distinguishing taste. I'll say that.
Correct. Yeah, I see that.
When you play a format like this, you want to floss the non-old school shit, right, to the best of your ability.
I finally get to use this card.
Yes, absolutely.
Andy also, Lucas, you are a history teacher?
I am, yeah. History and government,
yeah. He's a teacher, and he does this kind of shit all the time, just like for school. He's just pumping out dittos and shit. So like he just does this like in between dittos.
Nobody uses dittos anymore. Isn't it all like PowerPoint or something? I don't know.
I was making a middle-aged man joke, but thank you for ruining it.
No problem.
Anyway, Canva now.
Yeah,
that's it. Canva.
No, Microsoft Office forever, guys.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, you arrived at.
So back to Magic, I guess. So yeah, how did this deck feel? Did it perform like you wanted it to?
I thought it was great.
They fucking won the event, Andy.
Clearly. Well, people are going to want to know.
Sure. I think that there were only a couple last minute, decisions. The biggest one was, do you play the black cards or not? I was talking to people even the day before on the main event, just chit-chatting in between rounds. And it's like, is it worth it to play Tutor and Mind Twist when that means you're taking on more liability to Gorilla Shaman and maybe your Blood Moon?
But Lucas, you get DT and Merchant Scroll though.
Yeah, but you could just play more Merchant Scroll, right? And then you can pitch that Merchant Scroll to Force of Will as well. So it's closer than it usually is, but still I think it fell on the side of you got to play the black cards. They're just too good.
Yeah. You also get Incinerate instead of Chain Lightning, which is just so tempting, right?
Incinerate is great. Incinerate is awesome.
We all know how bad Chain Lightning sucks.
So
I remember you mentioned that to me, Lucas. Like you were thinking like, should I play Twist and Tutor? And I was like, are you joking? You're Lucas Glavin and you're not going to play Mind Twist?
It's 4 strip mines too. More chance of those cards getting stranded in your hands. And you can play one less Mox, which isn't the worst thing. I don't know.
It's just one of those things. Like when you have the ability to find them and you still play Lotus and 3 Mox, like I don't know. Like if you don't play those 2, like do you just have like 2 more Force of Will in your deck? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But then it gets tough with like pitching cards. You know what I mean? To have it for free.
Well, it's also a Blood Moon decision too, because like you could play Blood Moon instead of the black cards and play more islands or whatever basics and do that. So I don't know. I'm happy with the way it turned out, so I wouldn't go back. But
yeah. Cool. So
but anyway, just real quick, the deck played great all day. I don't know. I had smooth draws. I felt like luck was on my side. Opponents, there were some times where it was like pretty clear that they hadn't played much of Alpha 2 alliances or just like their deck, and maybe could have chosen more optimal lines. But I felt like having a little bit of background in it definitely helps a lot.
I feel like that was probably the case for a lot of people that decided to play team trios, because like people just don't really play this format very much, like outside of like I said, Music City or whatever. Like maybe some people have played it like with your Neos or like otherwise, but like this isn't a thing that people are showing up to regular meetups with, like generally, at least in the Northeast, right? Like that they're playing all the time and like figuring out lines or like decks and all that kind of shit. So I feel like you had probably a little bit of edge there. One of the best players in the universe.
Well, thanks. Saturday had a more laid back vibe in general, which was really nice. I mean, especially for the afternoon crowd. I think the X Point, people, it seems a little grindier down there, but the afternoon crowd was pretty laid back. And this was a time where people were going to be able to, I mean, I splurged for, my big splurge was playing Arena Incinerate or whatever, but some people were like, oh, I'm going to play this fucking Storm Cauldron deck I never get to use. There's definitely a lot of that going on. Yeah.
That's got to be a lot of clicking on fucking Moto, right? Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
there was some cool stuff going on though.
That brief one day spike in Storm Cauldron price, and then it dips back down again.
Was that your most notable like matchup on the day?
I played a really good matchup against Necro, where my sideboard Black Vice plan that I had thought would be good there turned out to be really good. So I was happy for that. It was tough. There was a turn where he had hymned my cards away or hippied them, and he Necroed himself for one too many. And then obviously I top decked the side blast. Like, come on.
What round was this? Was this in the finals?
That was round 3 against Jared Miller and Ryan Gresco's team, and I don't remember your opponent's name, Lucas.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on that. Sorry,
didn't take notes, but that was like, I was fortunate to pull that out.
But a super. I mean, all the teams were great to play, but yeah, that was a fun matchup for sure.
Yeah, great opponents all day.
Pre YetiCon, shout out to Jared Miller and Ryan Gresco. You guys are garbage, and we'll see you next month.
We love you.
That's the thing with Necro, man. Like, unless you're really, really skilled at playing it, it's very easy to overstep your boundaries a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that deck's right there. Again, Xanadu came in second in my event with it, and it looks super solid. Just they're playing black-red. I mean, again, you get a lot of burn spells, and the Contagion free spell is great.
Contagion,
so a lot of good stuff in that deck.
I played Ryan that round, and he was on a mono black deck for Atlantic, and I was very fortunate to be on the right side of the him variance that round. Because he himmed me I think games 2 and 3 or games 1 and 2, but his hims, both of them were whiffs, and they left me with some pretty gas cards,
relevant cards.
So,
yeah,
a timely leaving
took the water out of your gas.
Tim, thank you very much, Lucas.
Yeah.
Why don't we go into Chris? Why don't we go into your? Just you want to run?
Let's because like May said he has to pick up his daughter at 11. Yeah. So if you have to jump at any point, May,
you got it.
Don't sweat it. But we'll do you next, because also like no one really cares what Rich has to say anyway. So, and again, this is a repeat of Jens's.
Love
deck.
You, Rich.
No, Andy, don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. So, for Volcanic Island, for Underground Sea, there's a giant glare in this goddamn City Brass. Yeah, got it.
City Brass,
Yep. 4 workshops, 4 factories, 1 strip mine, Library of Alexandria, 4 Suchi, 4 Juggernaut, 4 Triskelion, and then now I'll try and fix my brain thinking here. Oh yeah, we'll do 4 copy Artifact, and then we'll do total set of mana rocks, so all the Mox plus Lotus, 1 Tetris, 3 Icy Manipulator, Chaos Orb, Soul Ring, Wheel of Fortune, 4 Lightning Bolt, Mind Twist. Mind Twist.
Mind Twist, DT.
Of course. DT. 2 Psyblast, Time Walk, Ancestral, and Time Twister. And then the sideboard of 4 Hercules Recall, 2 Blue Elemental Blast, 3 Red Elemental Blast, 1 City in a Bottle, 1 Shatter, 1 Earthquake, and 1 Abyss, 2 Chains of Mephistopheles.
That's it.
This deck is just evil.
Yes. So
like the fruits of the devil.
Yeah, and as the Neos Juggernaut, I couldn't not play Juggernaut. Right? So this list seems perfect.
That is perfect.
So
appeal to your sense of romance.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Juggernaut was the card that attacked for the win in the final game of the final match of game 3 against Scott Bradley in the finals, or in the last round. So yeah, again, it was sort of it was fate. It was great, but
shout out to Scott Bradley for playing the coolest deck in the main event of anybody. Playing actual giant sharks.
Actual giant sharks. Yep.
So the robots is kind of, I mean, obviously Shops is insane in Atlantic, Mace, but I feel like I feel like maybe because the Swedish event, like everyone was like geared up for like anti-artifact with sushi. Did you feel like maybe like people would be like also hedging against that in the Atlantic leg as well, just like heavy artifact hate just because Shops is so powerful? And like, did you notice that like through the games or?
No, I didn't really face an overt amount of artifact hate. I did play against a lot of him decks. I think that my last 3 rounds were against him decks.
Yeah.
And then round 1 I played against Twittervault, and round 2, I don't remember. I played against another troll deck. So yeah, I don't know if he had hymns. I don't remember if he had hymns or not. But yeah, a lot of hymns. Not a ton of artifact hate. But that that deck is pretty resilient towards to hymns and to to mulliganing in general, just because of the 4 shops and
did you 2-0 everyone then?
No, certainly not. No,
okay.
I 2-1. No, I 2-1 Twiddle Vault. Okay. And that match was a highlight of why Chains is in the board. He spent a disenchant on he tutored for a disenchant to spend on the Chains, which allowed me to stick my 5/3s and my 4/4s and just kind of run him over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome all day.
I'm surprised we didn't see more Chains in the main event. Just people running it. It's really good, but
it's Chains, man. Like the card's awesome against card decks that want to draw cards, but it is stupid expensive, and no one really wants to buy it if they don't have it in their collection already. So
and it's not really good against burn. Or
I loaned my set out to split it between Levi, Baumgartner, and Partial, and like Rich asked if he could borrow it too, and I was like, no, ask Andy because these idiots are already borrowing my set. So I'm glad you guys wound up with them.
Yeah, it was a popular choice for sure.
Yeah. I feel like the over and under would be like something like 20 on borrowed Chains for the day for the weekend.
Most borrowed card, yeah,
most borrowed card, probably.
This is why I don't have to go to Lobstercon. Like literally, about like 80 of my cards were there at least. Yeah. So like, I don't have to be there.
You were there in spirit. You were there in spirit.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that Jens's list was great. I mean, Rich. The reason we were able to make this happen was Rich had bought workshops. I think you finished your set last Lobstercon. Is that right?
Yeah, I had one shop just for Swedish.
Yeah, sure.
And then what was it? I do remember it was like the night after the main event. I played Noah Shanning that night, and he had shops, and I was just like. That was the first time I really faced like a proper shops deck, and I was just blown away at just like how incredibly fast and powerful it was. I brought my trade binder, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sell every card I have in this binder and get the remaining 3 shops. That's basically what I was doing.
Nice. Yeah, and then I mean, obviously, because you then had shops to play, we tested a decent amount over the year, and I believe there were some games. Rich and I are always playing like games till 12 o'clock or whatever on a weeknight, but. It's at some point I think you played Jens's deck and it seemed great. And actually Jens himself beat me. It was the final Swiss round of Lobstercon last year. Mm-hmm. So we were both 7-0 and he defeated me to go 8-0. I was playing the deck. And so in every previous Lobstercon up to that point, he would have been the champion last year. Mm-hmm. But last year was the first time they introduced a top 8 playoff. So he ended up losing to Rich Shea in the finals. But like, yeah, it was so I was impressed by that deck, nonetheless, to say the least.
It really speaks to his ability because, for the most part, I think most people think that Shops is a dog against the deck.
Certainly, yeah.
And so it kind of speaks to his skill as a player.
And the list you sent in, Mace. This was actually Jens's.
That's his deck pick from last year.
Yeah. Which is cool. He's got some great Merhan's altars in here, Mario, and he's got some great like copy artifact altars. It's a beautiful deck. It's again just a beautiful tribute to like an absolute like monster of old school and adjacent formats. So it was really cool to see. And like I again, without knowing the guy, it was kind of awesome to see like his list win something like on the day. It's really cool thing.
Yeah, and shout out to Partial, and I think you said there might have been a couple other folks who did the same thing. So that was pretty sweet that we all kind of arrived at that independently.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't know? So it was a surprise. That's nice.
No, yeah. Partial and I spoke maybe after like round 2 or 3, and I told him when I was on, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing the same exact thing." So that was pretty sweet.
Awesome. All right, not last but not least, not to be. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Last but certainly least.
Bring it on, baby.
Last but certainly least.
For the record, Jared's the man, no matter what he says to me.
Well,
I have joked with him, and it's kind of true. Like, if you're a member of the Sisters of the Flame Discord, you have to have the thickest of skins in old school.
It's true.
It's true. You gotta be able to take it.
I'm a terrible person to deal with, but
it's a very entertaining Discord. Let's just put it at that. Let's just leave it there.
Sounds like there's an old school tournament / roast coming up.
Yeah.
That needs to be scheduled.
This is going to be painful for everybody. So, and this is particularly painful because it's 7 points. So there's a lot more cards I have to read. But this
Are you really going to listen?
Oh no! Oh my god!
Yeah, no, especially for 7 point. I feel like you have to. Like the card choices for this are very interesting. So here we go. And
without further ado.
I love reading out lists like this because it's just like, you get all sorts of. It's very flavorful. So Kumbaj Witches, Black Knight, Order of the Ebon Hand, Royal Assassin, Hypnotic Spectre, Guardian Beast, which is 1 point, Darrowlore, Juzum Jin, Senger Vampire, Strip Mine, Mishra's Factory, Pyrotechnics, which is 1 point, Detonate, Chain Lightning, Shatter, Lightning Bolt, Shivan Dragon, Rock of Courageous, Granite Gargoyle, Sedge Troll, Terror, Ashes to Ashes, Immolation, Demonic Tutor, which is 2 points, Sinkhole, Hymn to Turak, which is 1 point, Imprison, you'll love to see it, What a Sleeper, Animate Dead, Oubliette, Badlands, City of Brass, Triskelion, which is 1 point, Navinral's Disc, James Day Tome, Icy Manipulator, which is the last 7th point, Taunus' Coffin, Auto Include, Juggernaut, Chaos Orb, Aeol Pile, Felwar Stone, Urborg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Swamp, 6 Mountains, and a Hammerheim.
That's it.
Is that a desert?
Yeah, that desert. A lot of people have asked me about that desert.
I shit the bed on the desert. Yeah. I've asked Rich about it several times, but it's a great altar. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Yeah. So in 2023, I went to Madrid for the 7 Points Worlds, and at that tournament, they had a prize for the furthest traveled, and I was clearly the one that traveled the furthest, coming from the U.S. So that I won that altar. It was done by David McKinven, who is one of the 7 Point admins. And
Mac Lotus, for the uninitiated.
Yeah, and it's
some super
beautiful evening desert, and that's going to be a permanent staple in every 7 Point deck I ever play.
What made you? Spain's kind of far. Is it just like the trip that you always wanted to go there, or what? What was now? You've been at least twice, right?
Yeah. This past summer was the second time I went. I don't know. It was just one of those kind of spur of the moments. I was like,
random.
Tournament. It wasn't the first time that they held it. It was they had been doing it for a few years before I went in 2023. But basically, I'm just like, why not? Let's get out of the country. I don't travel that much. I'm not that kind of person. But I was like, if I can travel and play 7 points, I'm like 100%. I should do it.
Despite having a Latin-based last name, Rich, you speak no Spanish, right?
Not only that, but
I'm just gonna throw him out there.
City in Spain called Arevalo, so but the community there is just like cream of the crop. I mean, everybody there was so welcoming, and they were just excited that I was there, because I was like, I think the first person from the U.S. to come play in their tournament. So they really treated me well, and they're just a great group of guys. I was like, I would totally, if I lived in Madrid, I'd be hanging out with them every week.
So much paella.
Yeah.
So you only lost one match on the day, Ricardo. When did that happen? Like along the way.
That was the final round, and it was against Dave Firthbard. And
oh no.
And I will say it was a loss that I feel was deserved, because his deck like perfectly pounds on one major weakness in this deck, at least in its current kind of model. It's like I said, this was Victor Osterberg's deck where I made just a couple of changes based on the point system, but he had Falling Star, he had Earthquake, and those, you kind of need those when you're dealing with 7 point aggro. And
Sure.
I mean, Dave's deck is like hyper aggro. It's like a second tier aggro. Like I've never seen such a quick deck.
Was Dave on the mono white?
Mono
build?
white,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He was just slamming.
He's been playing that for a while, or at least in
that
Singleton.
that deck. I've tried something similar though, and that deck can absolutely peter out. Like you know what I mean? Like despite the amount of threats in it and the removal, like you can run out of gas.
That might be user error though.
True. But I mean, he also has like the.
I'm probably one of the worst Magic players in the United States, Andy. So it doesn't surprise me. I'm just saying it's
true.
But I mean, definitely the deck is super fast, and and he has like the Repentant Blacksmith, which I don't want to see. He has the
he's got the order and stuff. Yeah.
So it does make it tough.
Also, DFB gets away with playing less lands, and actually Rich and I were playing 7-point just last night with the same deck, and he has the propensity to flood out sometimes because of the amount of mana he needs in his deck, where DFB can stay probably like five mana sources less than your deck, right? So if he just draws more gas to the right spells, it's like it could be a problem for you.
Yeah. And I was just like I mean, there were a lot of great battles throughout the entire tournament. But when I did face him, that was the first deck that I really faced that was like really aggro. I was like, oh my God, like this is not going well at all. And to the point where I kind of got so like thrown off by how quick his deck was. I think at some point I tried to like animate dead his White Knight or something, which you can't do it.
You can't immediately.
You do it.
Did your teammates catch you on that?
I must not have been watching.
We did, yeah. We said,
whoa, what are you doing?
You don't want to do that.
Wait,
hold on. So again, like that's one of the cool parts about team trios, right? Is like like with the designated seats, like how did they set you up like at the table in terms of like Altitude Alliances, then Atlantic, and then 7-point, or like who sat in the middle like on the day, and like did your matches go to where you guys were able to kind of like
I think it was the 7-point was in the middle,
whatever, to get through some tough spots, or how did that go?
Well, let me tell you. So I think this wasn't like really set in stone. Maybe there were announcements at the beginning. I wasn't in the room or something, but I think the idea was
we were sleeving, Rich. We were sleeving.
Oh yeah, we were power sleeving. We were trying to get the deck ready ASAP. But basically, I think the idea was that the 7-point player would be in the middle, and then ATL and A2A on either side. And that's what we did.
You put the slowest deck in the middle.
Well, here's the thing. I think round one for me at least.
Yeah, because then the two players can help him.
Finish first. I actually finished my match before either Chris or Lucas.
Really?
It was but it was so stressful to be sweating both matches at the same time because they were tight games, and I was just like, and I had to like cover like my face, trying not to give away anything, but I wanted to see what was going on. So I was like holding my breath during especially for Chris's match, his game 3 against Matt. Especially when he had the tutor and the chains and all that. I was like, oh my God, can he do it? Can he get it off? And it was fun. It was very cool to be kind of like in the front row watching these two incredible players playing really good decks against really good players. And I just had to try not to do any sudden movements. I just want to make sure they do their thing, and I don't
poker face.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing about like team trios, though. Like you're allowed to commiserate on like matches, right? So like were there any like specific like plays or like games where like you guys were able to like group think through a certain situation or anything like that? Or
yeah, for sure. Mulligan decisions was a big one. Round 3, Lucas advising me to keep an unneeded mox in my hand for him, which turned out to be exactly correct. Those were the big ones for me. And then kind of just like, especially in the last round, with the game kind of close and within reach, just talking about what to do to close it out with draw 7, and like what are you hoping to draw, how do we get there? It was great. Like that part of it, the matches were great, the magic was great, but also just like the collaboration and the actual team part of it was awesome as well.
Tell me, did you guys do the thing where you have nothing but land in your hand and you ask for help to like do the bluff, like, hey, what should I do here? Like, and then like discuss it for a few seconds. Or obviously you probably weren't ever in that situation. This is something that the lower tables do.
At that point, Andy, you don't even talk. You just like point at a card and just go like.
Now, you want me to do it now? No.
I got to do that once at a Grand Prix. It was pretty sweet. I had this card. It was like I had this card, Settle the Wreckage, which it like destroys all the attacking creatures. And this guy had multiple creatures, but I just had to like sit there for a second in Hollywood, like I don't have anything. Like my teammate knew what was happening. He was like, and then the guy was like really coy, so he like attacked with one. And I was like,
well, take it.
Chump block, like throw a guy in the way, whatever. And then I was like, yep, go. And then next turn he's like, I Alpha Strike.
All right, I'll
do it. We were like, yeah.
High fives all around.
It was so good, yeah. But we were very communicative as a team in the event, and I agree with Mace. It was a ton of fun for that reason. Getting to, obviously have to concentrate on your game first, but when you finish, definitely cool to work with your teammates. Mulligan decisions, and it was a lot of fun.
I do remember, I think the first 2 rounds, we were pretty much all locked in on our own matches. And then once we fortunately won both those matches, and we're like, okay, now we're in good position now to really make the run. So then I think round 3 is when Lucas started to kind of look at my hand and see, is he playing?
Like, what's going on over there?
I obviously was not. So I was always fighting back. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? I was like, dude, just do it. And I do remember. Go ahead, yeah.
Lucas finished round 3 like way before either you or I did. I think you might have almost gone to time in round 3 against Jared, but he was done rather quickly. So that was beneficial for you and I to have him there.
Well, the wheels got a little looser for me as the day went on, because I was going downstairs and Reindeer and Partial were giving away stickers all day.
Oh god!
Okay,
those guys.
All right.
What a jug!
Yeah, I want to chug. Yeah, so it was.
It's a literal version of a thirst trap, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I actually took one of those stickers and stuck it on one of the juggernauts in my deck for the last round.
Nice,
man. Nice.
I do remember I think it was the 4th round was one of the toughest matches I had, and it was pretty. It didn't look good for me.
Who were you playing against, or do you remember?
I think it was Charlie Klein's team. Is that right?
No, that was round 2. Round 4 was I was playing against Owen Fletcher, who is he's from Idaho, and he does all of like the. You probably know a lot of his alters if you've seen if you've been on the Discord. He's MTG Owen Fletcher. And his brother was in the A to A seat. I forget who was in the middle seat for a 7-point, but he was playing like a blue-white deck, right, Rich?
I'm thinking about when I was playing against green-black. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, that was round 2. That's when you had the that's when you got the Guardian Beast combo going.
Round 2 was against Jared Miller's team, right?
I thought that was round. I could be mistaken.
Well,
we're trying our best here.
Either way, basically, I do remember that it was against green-black, which I did get the Guardian Beast Chaos Orb combo off game 1 and won that very quickly. And then the next game, it was either game 2 or game 3. Basically, I was gonna lose. Like I definitely was not in good shape, and Lucas was like really like trying to help me out here, and I was like, I'll take any advice I can get from Lucas, and it still looked grim, and I just looked at Lucas, and he would just go, just draw shit in. Just draw shit in.
Dude, just draw out of this. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. You drew a vampire, and we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
and
there you go.
Apparently, I can't remember the details, but you probably remember it, Lucas. Like, it really came down to like I could either take a line that gives me a chance to win the game, or I can take the line to almost surely tie the game.
Right, and go to orb flips. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely took the more conservative route, as I do, and we ended up tying that game, but I ended up winning on orb flips. But it turns out that your plan would have worked. I think we kind of backtracked.
Yeah, it was like because Mason and I had already won, it didn't matter. But yeah, if we needed that win, then you could have taken a riskier line. But whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I do have one recollection. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Darren.
No. Go tell your story.
I do remember. I think it was the same team we were playing, Charles Klein's team, and Chris. This is where I think it was It was the first game, and you showed me your hand because you weren't sure if you wanted to keep it, and I looked at it, and I actually do remember 6 out of the 7 cards. I wonder if you remember. I can't remember the 7th one, but this was round 1, and then or game 1. I'm sorry. You had a Underground Sea, you had Volcanic Island, you had 2 bolts, you had a factory, and you had a Tetrapus. And you look, and I can't remember the 7th card, but you looked at me and you're like, "You think I should keep this?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're playing Shops, not Singleton. There's no way." I mean, you're literally playing Land Go for like 3 turns, and but the thing is, you had the 2 bolts. You didn't know what Charles was playing,
right?
So it could be a good, maybe defensive hand.
And I'm an idiot. I would have mulliganed that hand if I'm playing Shops, to be honest.
Well, no,
we did.
So I was like, you got to mull that hand. And do you actually remember what your mull hand was? I do remember it was just
I don't.
It was a busted opening. Yes, it was.
I mean, you have to, like, you're playing Shop. You don't know what you're playing against. You got to play to what your strengths are, right? So your explosiveness. Right. Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah. That mull though.
That mull.
If you're playing Shops, like even if you can't cast it immediately, like you want to have like a robot in your hand, right? Like one of them, whether it's Juggernaut or Suchi, plus like some amount of mana. Like even if you don't have a workshop, but you like mull to it. But I think 2 bolts and some mana is probably not going to get you there over time. So, but what I was going to say before Rich spun that yarn was like, the coolest part about team events for me is like we all always play this game like in our own fucking heads, right? And like that's where we live, right? We make our own decisions and that kind of thing. And like we could talk about plays after the fact, or like sometimes we play on webcam and then you kind of like share ideas as we're playing. But like the coolest thing about team trios is like having like other good players there and be like, yeah, no, I don't know. I think about it this way. And then like you get to internalize that, but like with other like good players, and like it's such a fucking awesome thing, right? Because like it is such a quote. It's like tennis most of the time, right? It's just an individual sport that we play most of the time. So to have 2 teammates there to kind of like,
it's a good learning experience. It definitely gives you a fresh perspective and things that you may not have thought about, and how other people approach the game. I think it's a great experience, especially if not just experience, but a new player too.
Andy, are you trying to hurry through this? Like, you have to take a shit or something? Like,
no.
Should we pause?
No. Should we pause? Be back in half an hour. No. What was I going to say? So that was the day. So it seems like a lot of fun.
So like, since I was not there, like, obviously the top 16 for the main event happened earlier in the day, and then like X Point was going on concurrently to you guys. And like I know Lucas said like the vibe of the room was much more laid back. Obviously like the day before was very tense for most people, I think, that were like, trying to win. So like,
well, it wasn't very tense for Mace because he was behind the mic. Yeah. And I want to thank you.
That was super fun.
Did you go in this? Did you go in this
commentary day one?
Did you go in this knowing that you were not going to play and you want to do commentary the entire day, or?
No, I'd originally signed up to play, and then Dave mentioned that he was trying to get a stream going, or trying to get somebody to stream it, and just dabbled kind of with commentary in some of the derbies before, and a couple other things, and was just like, listen, if you really want somebody to be there for the whole day rather than just picking it up after somebody goes 0-3 and wants to drop or whatever, like I'm more than happy to jump into that spot and not play on the first day, not play in the main event in order to be able to commentate. And so
you and Brian were excellent, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
It was honestly, it was great to watch it, apart from all the stream drops. But like, what the hell can you do about shitty internet?
And I think you were definitely the unsung hero on the day one, taking the time to like commentate on all the matches.
Yeah, but you guys were great, and it was a lot of fun watching that. Like I thought you did a great job.
And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, but all credit to the Duress crew, their setup, their work and coordination with getting the feature matches set up, setting up the stream, recording everything. They did an unbelievably tremendous job.
I saw the photos. Like
it
looked like straight up like fucking like Pro Tour over there.
It was crazy. It was great. They had the face cams, they had the overhead cam, and I would be super happy if, for every Lobstercon from now until the end of this thing, if they were involved in streaming it somehow. They did an unbelievable job. So hats off to them, and huge kudos to those guys.
Just gotta get a Wi-Fi booster in that goddamn place.
Yeah. That was the tricky part. Luckily, though, they recorded all the matches as well, so they'll be uploading them to YouTube. So there's going to be no like skips or drops like in the middle of any of the subsequent.
I can't wait for that.
Rich,
believe it or not, like I feel like a lot of people are actually looking forward to that, because it was like I'm watching on my phone a lot of the day. Like I'm either working or like whatever, and I'm like, fucking come on.
I know. Like even just like trying to download, like, okay, like you have person A and person B, like trying to download their deck photos was a freaking process in that room. So, but there's definitely some matches, there's definitely some matches I want to go back and watch to see, how, especially with some of the longer games, like how they played out, if things could have gone a little differently, or if we were, sort of online or spot on with our commentary, or if we missed stuff too. So I'm definitely looking forward to going back and watching that coverage.
Yeah, Rich and I had a feature match, which I think you and Andy commentated.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it was a great setup. I'll tell you, from the player's perspective, it was like anything I'd ever played at a Grand Prix, Pro Tour, whatever. It was awesome.
Oh, behind the mic as well. It was top notch. It was incredible. It was a double-edged sword for me personally, because while it was fantastic to see Andy hop on commentary, it meant that his Living Plane Tabernacle Caracas Consecrate Land deck did not do terribly well that day. I played the deck the night before, and I did not lose a match against anybody. I was like, I'm gonna get crushed next.
The deck is brutal. Like
I already knew I was gonna get crushed. Whatever. Anyway, moving on.
You were great on the day, whether it was Brian Selden or our own Andy Baccaro, Mace, and props to say, like that's a long day to sit there and talk about Magic. So
that was great. I would do it 100 times out of 100.
Yeah.
It was great. It was super fun.
Awesome.
Pez actually reached out to Andy like soon after the event, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll go in your pod or whatever." And I actually messaged Andy back, and I was like, I feel like we should ask Mano first if he's gonna do a pod with Pez, because I feel like this is like more their thing. And then like 3 days later, he's like, "Yeah, Pez is going on ATC." I was like, I'll have a much better time doing the Team Trios thing than next.
Thanks for letting us know where we stand. Yeah.
So Pez, so you didn't play Mox Emerald. Tell us about that. Busting balls.
We said Pez, we can't. I'm sorry, we're already booked. we got 3 champions.
Well, I have one winner when you have
exactly.
3 winners.
We have 3 champions, and
right.
It's just awkward. It's not me. It's So, but we appreciate you guys.
We were able to do this in a timely fashion, though, because if it drug out any longer, you guys probably wouldn't have remembered fucking anything, right? So it's awesome we were able to get this in like somewhat of a timely fashion, because getting 5 guys in a whereby chat is more difficult than you think. So much respect and appreciation.
It's really hell. And apparently, I guess there's no documented result or deck list for this tournament at all anywhere. But now that we have this on record that it actually happened, we can officially crown you champions. And we appreciate you guys coming on and taking time out of your day and talking about your experiences.
What did you guys get again? They get like bolts or strip mines or something.
Oh yeah, what was the prize?
What'd you get?
Nice.
First place was strip mine. Yeah.
Paul De Silva altar thing, right?
Yeah, Paul De Silva. Yep.
We all signed it. So it's a good
wasn't Paul on your shitty team, Andy?
He did. Yeah, he was, but he took the time to. Before he had like this huge stack of altars that he was doing, and it took him a couple hours. So shout out to Paul. Thanks for that, providing all that.
One of the best in the game at that, for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year they do something like this again, some sort of team event.
We'll have to run it back.
I think it was popular. I think people enjoyed playing it. Like I said, the vibe of the late start crew there, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself.
I mean, it was 31 teams or 32 teams total. So yeah, super popular.
I feel like, like we just did Mobstercon recently with Scryings, but I feel like this particular set of trios, like I feel like they ran it back. You might see 3 completely different decks like winning the event. And that's what's cool about this. I feel like it's like kind of wide open,
Mm-hmm. Some people were talking about putting X Point as one of the formats, but I think 7 Point's great. I don't think it needs to change, but there might be.
And if you did some sort of unified, like even like 7 points unified or something, like 7 points total across the 3 teams or something crazy.
That's pretty spicy, but it's definitely more of like a team collab thing. So like I think that would be cool as hell as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of teams form like a few days before, and they don't have time to play test, so that might be an issue. But
that's true.
Looking forward to next year.
Absolutely.
Andy, you're such a fucking Debbie Downer, dude.
Well, I'm just thinking out loud.
Idea shot down.
All right.
Anyway. Are we sticking a fork in this then? I'm sure these guys want to go about their business. Ricardo, are we going to play some 7 Point when the pod's over? Because I'm trying to.
I'm ready.
All right.
Get the fix in.
Do it.
All right, guys. So thanks again. Appreciate it.
Much.
And yeah. Awesome.
Mace, Lucas, Ricardo.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on, man. Great.
One last question.
Yeah.
Same time next year?
Same time next year.